Hello, people of the tennis world, and welcome back to The Slice. Lots has been happening at the World Tour Finals, including Dominic Thiem taking out Federer and then Djokovic in successive order. Absolutely amazing. We're also going to talk about Nadal losing in the group stage, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the next gen finals that took place before that. So we got to catch up on the matches that have been happening, what the semifinals are going to look like, what Djokovic's chances at world number one now at the end of the year are like now. We're going to get into all this on this episode of The Slice. I'm glad to have you here.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Thank you for tuning in, folks. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the website below to join the Front Row fam and join The Slice and be part of the movement, because we're getting you closer to the ATP action than anyone else on the internet. And the ATP action has been absolutely hot fire in the last 2 weeks, starting with the next gen finals. And a young man named Jannik Sinner, he is 18 years old, won the next gen finals, beating Alex de Minaur in the final, playing unbelievably. And we've seen him before this. So I forget which tournament it was before this, but he was playing at a super high level, giving Gael Monfils an absolute run for his money, who's a seasoned vet. And we saw this guy's game and we went, this guy could be something special. That's what people were saying before the next gen finals. And what we saw in the next gen finals, I think, makes it obvious to me that he is going to be a great player in the future, and big things are coming for him because, excuse me, he looks like he's a combination of Thomas Berdych and Andy Murray. He's got unbelievable strokes on the backhand and the forehand. He absolutely steps in and can rip his backhand. Moves great, defends great, and is clutch. And because he wins this tournament at 18 years old, beats Alex de Minaur in the final, who's a bit of a seasoned young guy. So kudos to Jannik Sinner. Do not sleep on him. I'm going to be making a video about the best 10 players of the next 10 years. And I think I'm going to have to give Jannik Sinner a serious consideration to be put in that group, that elite group of the future of the ATP. So that's the next gen. Now we're in the World Tour Finals, and a few big matches have happened so far. All three players of the big three have lost in the group stage for probably the first time ever. I don't know. I haven't seen that before. And it's really important because of who they lost to. So let's go as it happened. Dominic Thiem beats Federer 7-5, 7-5. It's a tight match. Federer didn't play horrible. It was tight the entire way. Federer just cracked more than Thiem did, and Thiem was more clutch and was a more aggressive player, hitting bigger, and he was a better returner. That's one of the main things. Federer only won 48% of his second serves. Not good. Thiem won more on Federer's second serve. Federer has a good second serve. Thiem must have just been ultra aggressive on those, really capitalizing. And Thiem won 70% of his second serve. So Federer couldn't get a read on it at all. It's a huge point in the match. It's still close, 7-5, 7-5. So Federer won against Berrettini after that. So his level's good. It's there. But Thiem's was just superior that day, which is big because that's Thiem's third win over Federer this year. So he's definitely had his number. Thiem's younger, more explosive, and playing really, really well, obviously, in 2019. Then Zverev defeats Nadal in an absolute showout. 6-2, 6-4, his first win over Nadal. Zverev had 11 aces, and he won 57% of the second serve return points on Nadal's serve, which is big. Nadal doesn't have as powerful or good of a second serve as a guy like Federer maybe, but that means that Zverev was being extremely aggressive on that. And Nadal also couldn't really hurt Zverev on the return, and Nadal's arguably the best returner in the game right now, showing this stats-wise. So Nadal didn't look injured. He looked a bit deflated, probably just coming out of the Paris thing. You never know how much it was affecting him, but he did play well. But the main thing, or he played okay. He could have won. The main thing is Zverev played unbelievable. He's just hitting amazing shots. Seems like Zverev gets beast mode now whenever it comes to the World Tour Finals. Being a defending champion has got to help with that. So kudos to Zverev for upping his level big time, making things very interesting. And then Dominic Thiem waltzes back onto the scene again, facing Djokovic, who's playing hot, obviously just winning the World Tour, the Paris Masters. And Thiem comes out here, loses the first set by this much, basically was the more aggressive player the entire match, the better player the entire match, even though Djokovic won the first tiebreak. Team comes out and hits 50 winners in this match, as the ATP Tour reports, and he was 4 out of 4 break points converted. So he only had 4 chances to break Djokovic, and he did it every time. That is big time. That's clutch time. Some people would call that hammer team. Hammer time. Okay, it's like, Steven, that's not funny. But anyways, what's not funny is how we see Djokovic was on the brink of doing what he normally does to players, which was coming from behind, frustrating them, and just squeezing it out, like he did to Federer in Wimbledon. But team was up in the third set. Djokovic came back, broke back, and was ahead. And then team broke back to stay on serve. And then it went to a tiebreaker, and Djokovic was up in the tiebreaker, but team came back and hit a clean winner at the 4-all point to put it to 5-4, and then he eventually won. One of the biggest wins of his career, because I think in the way he did it, he had to be absolutely clutch, mentally locked in, and then he just beat Federer and then Djokovic in succession at one of the biggest tournaments of the year. So that's a huge point for team. Djokovic looked thoroughly pissed at the end of that match, losing that, because I think he thought he had it a bit in the bag. He's won so many matches defending like he did. But team was the more aggressive player and the better player today. So that's what went down as the big three all lost in the group stages, which is a big deal, I think, because you usually see these guys just walk through. The younger guys fade away. But with team and Zverev had the confidence to win. Team had the confidence to even come from behind and win and beat Federer again. So they've got this confidence now. We've talked about this before after Shanghai. Are the next gen guys, these few guys, Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Zverev team, are they stepping into the light that they've been, just outside of for years now? So let's look at Federer and Djokovic's match happening Thursday in London. Winner advances to the semifinals, loser is out, which is crazy. So either teams into the semifinals and Federer or Djokovic will join him, but not both. So what's at stake in this match? Obviously, Djokovic, if he loses, he can't be world number one. Even if he wins, it's gonna be very hard unless Nadal doesn't win another match to end up as world number one for Djokovic. And Federer does not have much to lose, honestly. He's got a lot of revenge to get for the Wimbledon loss, which was still brutal. As a Federer fan, I still can't believe that he didn't win those 2 points that he had. But he has a chance to get some revenge here on Thursday. And I think it's just going to come down to the day. Whoever plays better, whoever plays more clutch. Federer's level is definitely there because he won Basel. He didn't play bad against team earlier. He's rested. And Djokovic's level is obviously there because he just won Paris. So this is going to be a great match. I think we could be in for another classic. But there's a lot of stake for Djokovic in that match with the year-end number one. I think he's not going to be happy that he lost today. He said after, he's like, I played team a bunch. I know his game, but what I saw today was absolutely amazing. So speaking of team, I think this is really cool for team to see at this level. I don't know what's going to happen from here on. Even if he wins the tournament, I just think the level that he has showed in these 2 matches is amazing. Like some of his ball striking, the power he can generate as a smaller guy. He's not even as tall as Djokovic or Federer. Is amazing. And he's out hitting these guys. And he's now rallying consistently with them. And he's beating them on a fast indoor court, which makes no sense because Federer's, in my opinion, definitely the greatest indoor player of all time. And Djokovic is also an all-time indoor hardcourt player. And team just beat both of them when they weren't playing bad. That's the crazy part to me. It's because what we see in the past is team being rushed because of his big strokes, but with amazing coaching from his coach, I forget his name, Masu, he's been able to speed it up and get into a place where he can be the aggressor in these matches versus Djokovic and Federer, and their pace and their craftiness on this indoor court isn't affecting him. He's able to be the counter or the aggressor, and he's able to slug away and just play his game. So now you got to think and it's just awesome to see because I like team. I met him in Miami. I got to give him a fist bump after a little interview we did, which is the audio form, which the front row people have already seen. It will come out later, but the front row people have already seen. If you want to support us, help us get to more tournaments, link below. But I've met team, and he just seems like the nicest guy. Gave me the time of day, and it's just really cool to see him stepping up. He's one of the hardest working guys on tour. I got a clip here of him practicing on the grass right after he had won the Indian Wells title, defeating Federer. Before he'd even played his first match in Miami, he ended up losing that match. But he's out there grinding. I don't think any of the young guys work as hard as team, so it's really good to see for team. My question to you is, which of the young is the next gen stepping up? Are they finally stepping up? Is 2020 going to be the year the next gen? I think it might be, and I got some videos coming out about that. But until then, let's stay up to date on the World Tour finals. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. If you want to help get this type of journalism rolling more, click the link below to check out the Patreon page. Love you guys. We'll see you very soon with some more crazy action from the World Tour finals.